Hey, it's your girl Shay Shay. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if you've been here before. So James Charles is at the center of a pretty messy situation right now, and it all started with the Spirit Airlines controversy that spiraled way further than anybody expected, child. A laid-off Spirit Airlines worker had reached out to him online asking for financial help, basically trying to get support through things like GoFundMe after losing her job when Spirit Airlines declared bankruptcy. And instead of ignoring it or responding privately, James posted a TikTok reacting to it, lighting her up. Because the way he responded didn't land the way he thought it did. It came off harsh, dismissive, and honestly pretty insulting. And once the video went up, the internet didn't just react to what he said, they reacted to the whole situation, the tone, what he said, and also his past, saying that you really should not be throwing any stones, my guy. Now the situation didn't just stop there either. It escalated because after the backlash, he didn't immediately apologize. He actually stood 10 toes down behind what he said, and then he later decided to try and apologize, but that was also a problematic apology. We're gonna get into all of that. Now, was James Charles actually mad about what she said, or was he simply upset that she wasn't a teenage boy? Allegedly. Let's talk about it. Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything said here too seriously. It's just jokes, gossip, and opinions. Please relax and enjoy the video. Everything presented in this video is alleged. I'm only spreading the word on the curb, and in no way I'm giving my personal opinion. So here's how this whole situation got started. A former Spirit Airlines employee who had recently lost her job because the airline stopped flying reached out online asking for help, including trying to raise money through things like GoFundMe. And James Charles responded publicly on TikTok. Now in theory, this could have been a quiet moment. He could have just ignored it or told her privately, like, I'm not participating in this, but good luck. But instead, he decided that he was going to make a video. And the tone of that video was really crazy because instead of being sympathetic or neutral or saying, hey, you know what, I'm not going to contribute, but here is my audience, you all can go and contribute if you'd like to, he decided to call her entitled, say things like you need to go get a job and welcome to the real world, sweetheart. And that specific phrasing is what the internet grabbed onto immediately because, as you can imagine, a lot of people were not happy about this at all. This wasn't happening in a vacuum. The Spirit Airlines situation meant a lot of people were suddenly dealing with job loss and financial uncertainty. So even though you can argue the general point that influencers aren't responsible for financially supporting strangers, that's not really what people are reacting to. It's how it was said and the disrespect in that video, the public nature of it, the lack of empathy in the delivery, and the fact that it was turned into content instead of just being left as a personal opinion and kept it pushing is really what left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And once it gets framed like that, the conversation stops being about whether someone agrees or disagrees, and it becomes about how disconnected it feels when influencers talk about real life struggles.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's the GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job. Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you? Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need to GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off, okay? I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally gonna be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees and it's gonna be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies. Go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
So after the original video went viral, James didn't immediately apologize. Instead, he posted a follow-up response, and this is where things escalated. In that second video, he basically stood by what he said in the first one. The message was still the same idea, that influencers aren't responsible for financially supporting strangers online, and that people need to handle their own business. As you can imagine, the backlash was pretty severe, so then came the third video, the apology. In this apology video, he walked back the situation more directly. He acknowledged that the way he spoke about it was harsh and that posting the video in the first place wasn't the right move. And one thing about this apology is that he did seem to apologize more so for the tone, saying that, well, I could have been nicer and all that, more so than actually the impact of the video or what he was communicating, because a lot of people do feel like, yeah, you know what, as I've said before, there is a point about you're not really responsible for other people's business, but was it necessary for you to say that? You could have just been quiet and kept it moving. It seems like the apology was implying to a lot of people that what James Charles was saying is that he should have said what he said in a different way, when the tone, of course, was a problem for a lot of people, but it wasn't the only problem. What he had to say too, it just felt completely unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, if you're saying something unkind with a wrong tone, it's still unkind even with a nice tone.
Talking about how a woman had lost her job at Spirit Airlines, and she sent me a message with a GoFundMe link asking me to donate. And the video was basically me yelling at the camera, being super upset and frustrated because this person had never followed me, never supported me before, and it was clear that she had basically copied and pasted this DM to every influencer and celebrity she possibly could, asking for a handout. And I called her lazy, I said she was stupid, and I said she should have spent the time that she spent copying and pasting the message applying for jobs instead. This video was fucking stupid. It was rude, it was obnoxious, it was privileged, and most importantly, it was completely fucking unnecessary. When I saw that DM, I absolutely had the choice to ignore it and say absolutely nothing at all and move on with my day, but instead, I couldn't even tell you why. Her message just triggered me, and I decided instead to make a video about it. And I bashed her, and it was obnoxious, and I shamed her for asking for help in a situation where she was clearly really struggling, and this could have been her absolute last resort. I have no idea what was going on in her life, and I should have never assumed that she was just copying and pasting this DM as an easy way out. I don't know. I just don't know. My intention behind making this video in the first place was, I get a lot of messages like this every single day. And for me personally, it definitely sucks to receive messages from people that don't follow you and don't support you, treating you like our personal ATM or bank account. But what I'm sure sucks even fucking more is not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from and not being sure whether or not you're going to be able to put food on the table for yourself and your family. So it really doesn't matter what my intentions were behind making the video, because it came across as super fucking privileged and like I was basically shaming anybody that's unemployed for not trying hard enough to get a job. And I feel awful because that wasn't my intention, and it really hurt a lot of people. And I know that it's not that easy. I know that the job market fucking sucks right now. I have friends that are looking for jobs. I have my own employees that I try my best to take care of. And I've heard so many fucking horror stories online of companies ghosting people, recruiters wasting everybody's time, people applying for job after job and not hearing back for 6 months, a year, 2 years. I know that it's really fucking hard out there, and that most people are just doing their best and trying their best to figure it out and to make it by. And if this person happened to choose sending out GoFundMe links as their method of trying to make it by, who am I to judge? Especially when you consider the fact that my method of figuring it out and getting by was making makeup videos online. I just happened to get really lucky, and now, years later, I'm in a blessed and privileged position. But as somebody with a platform, it's my responsibility to humble myself and to never take what I have for granted. And when I made that video today, that is exactly what I did. I was speaking from a very privileged, obnoxious, ignorant standpoint, and for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly. And
what do you think happened, boo-boo? People absolutely cooked him alive, because for a lot of viewers, this wasn't just about one rude TikTok. It was about who James Charles is and what he's saying, because let's be real, James Charles is known for controversy. I mean, allegedly talking to straight men online, talking about like, well, let me tell you about the LGBTQ community, giving out fake contracts about not being paid to be his boyfriend, allegedly, and talking to minors, allegedly. So when this video dropped, people didn't react to it in isolation. A lot of the internet was like, this is the person that wants to talk to us about the real world. Like, are you for real? And honestly, that became one of the biggest points people kept bringing up online, because to many viewers, James Charles does not represent the real world anymore. He became rich and famous online at a young age, built a career through influencer culture, and lives a life most regular people simply cannot relate to. So hearing him lecture a laid-off worker about responsibility and struggle just came across as incredibly out of touch to a lot of people, and frankly hypocritical to a lot of people. And that's why this became bigger than normal life influencer drama. It tapped into a frustration people already have with influencers in general, especially wealthy ones who seem disconnected from how difficult life can be for a lot of people off in these streets. And so that's why for a lot of people, him coming out and saying, well, I could have said what I said nicer, isn't really addressing the issue, because the issue for a lot of people is not only the tone, it's what you said. Please leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, and leave a like if you've enjoyed this content so far. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Shay out.